Saul had been king, but he kept disobeying God, so God asked Samuel to find a new king. God said to Samuel, "Go to Bethlehem, and there's a man named Jesse with 8 sons. One of them will be the next king." When Samuel met the sons, he first thought that the oldest son would be the king that God had chosen. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look at the way he looks or how big he is. The oldest son is not the one I have chosen. The way he looks does not matter to me. I look at the heart." Jesse brought more of his sons to meet Samuel, but none of them God had chosen either. Samuel asked, "Have I met all of your sons?" Jesse replied, "I have one son left named David. He's the youngest, and he's out looking after the sheep. I will bring him here to meet you." As soon as Samuel saw him, the Lord spoke to him and said, "He is the one." So Samuel anointed him with oil, which was a special way of promising him that he would be the next king. And from that day the power of the Lord was with David. Meanwhile, Saul was still king and ruled the people called the Israelites. The Israelites were not getting along with the Philistines. The problem with the Philistines was that they had many giants living in their land. One of the strongest and biggest giants was named Goliath. He was over 9 feet tall. Every morning and every evening for 40 days, he shouted to the Israelites in his deep voice, "Hey, you guys! I dare you to find one man to fight me. If he can beat me, we will become your slaves. But if I win, you all become our slaves." When Saul and his men heard this, they were very afraid. 3 of these men were David's 3 older brothers. David's father, Jesse, heard about the giant and worried about his sons. He called David out of the field and asked him to take some food to his brothers and report back on how they were doing. As he approached, he heard Goliath shouting like he does every morning. "Isn't someone going to stand up to this man?" David asked the army. "Then I will fight this giant Philistine." Saul approached David and said, "You can't fight Goliath. You're only a boy, and he's been fighting for many years. I've had to fight lions and bears to protect my father's sheep. God kept me safe then, and he'll keep me safe now." So Saul dressed David in heavy armor to protect him from Goliath, but David took it off. Instead, David went to a stream nearby and found 5 smooth stones and put them in a pouch. As David approached, Goliath looked at David and thought it was a joke. Goliath thought that he could easily beat David, and it was funny that Saul would send a small boy to fight him. But David said to him without fear, "You fight with the sword, and I come with God on my side today." Goliath didn't care what David said, and he ran closer to attack him. David quickly reached into his pouch. He pulled out a stone and put it into a slingshot and shot it at Goliath. The stone hit him right between the eyes, and suddenly Goliath fell. Then David approached Goliath and chopped his head off and brought the head to King Saul. Goliath didn't realize that in fighting David, he was also fighting God.